Yes, I really am running Windows 11 on my MacBook Air with 8 GB of memory. Sounds magical? Well, it does work. Actually, it just had to, finally got two pieces of software which did not have a native Mac version. I wanted to use Power BI. Turns out they don't have a native Mac version, and so I thought I'll give it a shot. Nothing very magical about it. I'm just using Parallels to do this. I am still in the trial period. So if you go here, this is now I'm running this within Windows 11. If I go to Parallels for Mac, there you go. And all of this is running in Windows right now. And if I just maximize it, it'll look even more familiar. There you go. Give it a second, give it a second. Okay, there you go. So now, you have your standard Windows taskbar at the bottom. You have your little clock here, everything you're familiar with Windows. You're literally in Windows 11. There's nothing, different about it. This is the ARM version of Windows, of course. And the way it's made possible is by, first of all, getting Parallels from their website. They do have a free trial option, and then they have like a yearly subscription. And now, right now, I'm in the trial period. I'm not sure if I'll buy it, but I just wanted to check it out to see if it works. And while you're installing it, it lets you also download Windows. And so as part of the installation process, which was fairly smooth, I was able to download Windows as well. There you go. They have a little offer coming up. And Windows downloaded. I do not have a license for Windows either. So I'm also in the unlicensed stage of that. And I'm assuming that in a few days, it'll start nagging me to sort of put in the license key. But for now, I'm good. So yeah, it does work just fine. You can run it full screen. You can run it if you want in a window. You can minimize it. And now it's just like any other Windows on your Mac. Yeah, you can drag and drop files from one to the other. That works too. You can do the show desktop thing. And if you have a file here, you want to transfer it to the Windows desktop. Okay. Okay, yeah. So this is interesting how it works, because all of the files that I had on my Mac desktop are already there by default on my Windows desktop. So it's using the same folder behind the scenes. So anything I put over here is already over there. But if I open it up and I try to do an individual file, then you will get that file over here, and you will also actually get that file on the Mac desktop. But yes, you can drag and drop files between them. You also have this little thing. If you're not in the full screen mode, if you're in windowed mode, you get this little extra thing on Windows 11, and this is telling you about CPU performance. So right now, CPU usage is 6%, and internet performance, and this has all your keyboard shortcuts, the Windows shortcuts. Otherwise, your command key, so your command key is your Windows key, and so that's works fine. I could run Paint, and it'll come up. So everything works. It's just fine as far as compatibility is concerned. There's no problem. The Windows Store is here, and you can download. It does work once you log into your Windows account. And I was able to download Power BI, which was my entire purpose of doing this in the first place. And I'm using it. So in terms of compatibility, not a problem. In terms of performance, I'm afraid not very good. So it is sluggish. Very sluggish at times. So for everyday work, I could still get away with it. But of course, I don't need it for every work. I have the Mac already. What I needed it specifically was for the Power BI. And if I now go in here, and if I sort of start messing around with this, it really is sluggish. It takes time to change things. You can see it's doing a lot of stuff. And so it does work. You get used to it, but so I think in a pinch I'll be happy with it, but obviously it's not for any heavy duty work. Just maximize this right here, and you can get this annoying little screen every time you do maximization or a minimization. Not the minimization within Windows, by the way. That will work fine. So now I'm minimizing this within Windows, and that will work. I can minimize this as well. But if I minimize the entire thing, so then I'll get that little jitter. Having said this, yeah, it's workable. If you're absolutely in a pinch and you absolutely need to do something on Windows, you could use it. It is expensive. It's a paid software after all. It's not free, but it gets the job done. I'm assuming that if I had a later day Mac, it would run a lot faster. Interestingly enough, the memory is not turning out to be the issue. So if I now go to Task Manager, I have the full Windows running right now. the CPU load is sort of is sort of high, but as far as the memory is concerned, it is using 7 GB of memory right now because 4 GB is allocated to Windows. And so there is some memory pressure as well. There's a little swap file as well. So yeah, I think this is one of those cases in which a faster processor, probably the M4, more memory, all of that would help. Of course, the good news is that all the latest Apple machines are now coming with 16 GB default. And so that problem would go away, or that debate would go away. But yeah, even with 8 GB, you can make it work. But is it worthwhile? Probably not worth paying, but in a pinch, at least you can run it. But I was surprised at how smoothly the installation process actually worked. That seemed to work quite nicely. And all the Windows features are here. Show desktop, for example, is here, which I do miss in the Mac. In the Mac side, there's no easy way to do this. You get your Microsoft's own browser over here. Like I said, you get the Paint program. If I go to the Windows Start menu, you notice a jitter immediately, right? So it doesn't just pop up immediately. It sort of takes a second of hesitation for it to come up. So it's not very smooth, but yeah, it's there. So that's just a quick, I just thought I'll share this. If you are thinking about installing Windows for whatever reason via Parallels, go ahead. But remember that this is what performance is going to look like. But the good thing, of course, is that Parallels has a 14-day trial. It installed Windows for you during installation. The Windows license also seems to have a grace period. And so you can just try it out for free. And if it works for you, for your use case, fine. Otherwise, you can just, within the trial period, you can just get rid of it. But it does work. So hope this is useful for some people who are sort of thinking about doing this. And cheers.